Hello there, Internet. Mogwai here, and I got another video for you guys today. Today we're going to play some Esper mid-range yet again, but this time we got a completely new list ready for you, and that is Bugler's Toolbox. I have been told numerous times about my mispronunciation of the militia Bugler. I used to say Bugler. English is weird sometimes, that's just my defense, but I think Bugler is correct. This is the card that we're building this deck around. I got this deck from a competitor from the Mythic Championship who went 7-3 in the standard portion of that tournament with this build right here. And it was very intriguing to me because I was literally thinking about this build the other day. Like I was talking with my girlfriend about it. Like I was actually saying, I want to build a Esper mid-range deck list that runs Militia Bugler and Kitesail Freebooter because I loved Kitesail Freebooter when I played the Rakdos mid-range deck in the Twitch Rivals event. I thought it was really good against Mono Blue Tempo, and overall just a very solid card because it also matches up well against Esper Control and Civic Nexus. So having a 2-drop that works well in all those scenarios, especially because of how good she is versus Mono Blue Tempo, which is very appealing to me. And I really like, there's a lot of things that I like about Esper midrange, but being locked onto Hero and Priest 1 as an archetype really limits your deck building because you have to include mostly multicolored spells, and also kind of puts a lot of weight on a 2-drop because if Hero and Priest 1 gets answered, which he very easily does, a lot of your momentum and tempo and just value generation kind of falls apart. So I like this variant because it doesn't kind of like ride so much on one card in particular, and on the other, like instead, I was searching for the word there. And what it does is it works like a toolbox. Like I don't know if this is like an actual term, but it's a term that I use. I consider this deck kind of like a toolbox. Militia Bugler is, you know, the guy who just picks random tools for different scenarios, and that's kind of like how the deck works, right? We got hand disruption, we have counter spell disruption, we have, you know, steal your deck and laugh at you disruption, and we have steal your units or kill them disruption. It's all about different ways of disrupting what our opponent is doing while also, you know, slowly invading the board ourselves. Our creatures are not very strong, as most of them have 2 power or less, but you know, in quantity you can actually overcome your opponent and deny them their strategy and just ping at them until you kill them. And that's kind of like how this deck works. Now, of course, we do have the 5-drop late game bomb in Lyra Dawnbringer, which we are main decking because she's actually, you know, outside of Esper Control and Sultai mid-range matchups, which I know are quite prevalent, against everything else she's really amazing. And even in those matchups she can also win you games if left unanswered, against mono white aggro, against mono red aggro, against mono blue tempo. She's just really good, and those decks make up a good portion of the metagame right now. So she kind of also makes up for the deck's like lack of initial muscle because, like I said, our stats are pretty low because we're playing a deck built around Militia Bugler, right? So most of our creatures are rather weak, but then we have a 5-mana unit that just can stop the opponent's onslaught on its tracks. And overall, we have a very, very flexible deck right here. This deck is very interesting in the way it's built. We also run Chart of Course because it's very easily enabled with Kitesail Freebooter. And Tide Taker is just so good against Mono Blue Tempo. It's good against Civic Nexus. It's good against Esper Control. And it also puts in the work in other matchups as well. But it's very, very key. Like, to explain it in a way, like the cards in this deck aren't particularly amazing in a matchup on their own, but together they provide you with a lot of flexibility and a lot of utility across all different matchups in the current standard metagame, and that's what I really like about this particular build. We have a sideboard with 2 Duresses, 2 Absorbs, 2 Deputy of Detention, aka Fun Police, 1 Mortify, 2 Vrasa's Contempts, 2 Basilica Bellhounds, 2 Eldest Reborn, and 2 the Immortal Sun. You know, my boy Led would be happy to see this here because he just has a hard-on for this card. Like, apparently, like every time I look at my Twitch chat, like he's just talking about the Immortal Sun. I don't know. It's just like, chill, Led. There are more cards in Magic the Gathering, but yeah, there you go. Good for you. I'll play the Immortal Sun. Hope you're happy. This is a very potent card in this list because, as you can tell, we are not running any sort of Planeswalker. At first, I was like, why no Teferi? You know, like every, you know, random comment that I see, just like, why no Teferi? As simple as that. Like, no more words needed in that question. Like, why the fuck are you not playing the most broken planeswalker in existence in the color combination that enables you to do so? Well, because we are playing this artifact right here that is meant to come in the Esper control and the Sultai mid-range matchups. Alongside Eldest Reborn, Berserker Bellhunt can be applied onto aggro matchups. Process Contempt is also very flexible in regards to addition. Mortify is there because it also helps in the Nexus Wilderness Reclamation matchups as well, alongside providing us an extra source of removal for other more, mid-range to aggressive-oriented encounters. And then we have Deputy Detention, which is very good against Mono Blue Tempo, and Nexus decks because it can either take away, little creatures at a high pace, or take out their Curious Obsession, or it can disrupt the opponent's game plan by stealing a Search for Scanta or a Wilderness Reclamation, and like I said, a Nexus of Fate matchup. 2 Absorbs because it's a counter spell that can go against control decks, but also good when you're on the play versus aggro decks because it gains you life. And 2 Dress because, it's a sideboard. We play black, we play the rest. As simple as that. So what I really like about the sideboard is that it really does provide tools for everything. Like it's not, like I said, when I define this deck, it's like not really, I don't think we have like an amazing matchup against anything. But what I love about it is that we don't have a dead matchup against anything at the same time. And it just flows really well. And the sideboard really comes into play. Like I've been playing this, I've climbed from Platinum Tier 4 to Platinum Tier 2 with this list. And I broke through my tilt because yesterday in my stream, I just could not get a win streak for the life of me. I tried Abzan Control, I tried Abzan Tokens, I tried Wilderness Reclamation with Niv Mizzet, I played a little bit of Sultai, and a little bit of Birds, and I just could not, win 2 games in a row for the life of me. Like, I was super tilted. It was like one of the worst streams that I had in a while, honestly. And I found this bad boy, and I found really good success with it, and I kind of like, went back to my Esper mid-range days, which is like one of the decks that I've been the most successful with this season, or this metagame, I guess. And I'm excited to share it with you guys, as I've been rambling about this deck for like 7 minutes, but it's a really cool one. And I'm gonna, from this point onwards, especially with like competitive deck lists like this, I'm gonna showcase them off, and even like more meme ones as well. I want to do like at least two videos per deck, because that way I don't like burn myself out, because it is difficult to come up with new ideas. It is difficult to, and like one of the things that has been bothering me the most lately is that, like, for example, the Phylactery Lich mono black deck, I literally came up with that like on my own, and because like some other YouTubers were like uploading that, I was getting like a bunch of comments telling me that I was copying their deck list, when our deck lists were like completely different, even though we did run Phylactery Lich. And I play other decks that people send me, and I clearly state in my intros that, I didn't create them, right? Like, somebody sent me the deck, and I still get comments and like telling me that, I'm not original, I'm not that. Do you expect me to build a new deck every day of the year? Like, do you think I can do that? Like, a legit deck that works? Like, I gotta, take it easy. I gotta go at a reasonable pace. I'm human, like sometimes I don't come up with every idea imaginable. I have to like take ideas from here and there and be inspired by them. I do want to get back to like building some decks, like pick a reanimator and stuff, but I can't do that every day, basically. And I realize that I also don't want to, put myself in a position in which I have to have like a new deck every single day, and I don't even showcase off the decks that I really like properly, because it's just one video and there's only so many games you can showcase off in a video, right? So I basically, this whole ramble is about me saying that I'm going to be covering decks more in depth, and I'm going to be doing a couple of videos on them each, and that way you guys get more content with that, and that way I don't have my brain explode. So profit, right, for all of us. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys for the constant support on the videos. It really does mean a lot to me. Like, I know most of my comments are very positive, and it really is heartwarming to see. So yeah, thank you for still watching them and all that, and I just appreciate all the support. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope you enjoy the game, because it is a best of 3 series against mono white aggro that I had just now. And it's a pretty good one at that. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow with more with this deck yet again. So have a solid day, and I'll see you around. All right, here we go. Let's climb through Platinum, baby. Let's redeem ourselves after yesterday's stream, which was an absolute disaster. I mean, I learned quite a few things from yesterday's stream, like the current metagame. It's very diverse, but it's also very hard to escape blue as a color. And when I was playing like a deck like Abzan, for example, I just really noticed that, you know, like Hydroid Crassus has really shaped up the meta in a way, because it's either, you know, in the most popular list, or it's defining other decks, right? Like it's the reason why what was it called? What was that card called? The Melody card, the one that steals. I forgot its name. That's why that card is a thing. I'm gonna go for Kitesail Freebooter here. Maybe I can take a History of Benalia and or a shitload of stuff. I mean, it's just he's main decking Baffling End, which is in a way baffling to me. I guess I'll take that. Quite surprised to see like a mono white aggro list with so much like main deck removal. Because Baffling End is not something that I wouldn't recommend it like on the main deck personally. Because you're trying to outspeed your opponent and out-tempo them. Like running removal like this is just kind of... It kind of like goes against the point of just like smacking your opponent in the face, which is what this deck is trying to do regardless, right? Like I think Conclave Tribunal is more than enough, and we're screwed here, it seems. We're just gonna cast down here. I know I could play this at instant speed, but I'd rather not. I'm lazy. I'm gonna play that now. I'm gonna kill that there because I'm gonna target that anyways. You know, unless he curves out into a History of Vanillage Marshal, but he had to draw a land, so I knew that wasn't really gonna be a thing. Kitesail Freebooter can actually block that, so at least I'm slowing him down a little bit. But you know, it'd be nice to actually like curve out ourselves. But it seems like that's just not the case. No curves for us. We can counter his next play, but I would really like to be able to play my Hashi Stakers, which I should have been able to do by this point. I mean, I either cast down or I look out Dispersal this turn, so it's not like... It's not like I go empty-handed here. I'm just gonna look at Dispersal this. And then I'm gonna cry because I'm gonna take a hell of a lot of damage, and there's not much I can do about it. And it seems he's just gonna Conclave Tribunal this, which I guess makes sense. And I mean, we do draw land. We did it, mama. We did it. Okay, so this just if he plays this, then he just wins because he deals 12 damage to me. So I can't really afford to play that. What I can afford to do, though, however, is I can cast down one of these. And live by 2 points. The reason why I do this is because now I have to, I literally have to draw into a land. Otherwise, I lose. We lose. Alright. Good to know. Well, we got mana screwed that one. We faced mono white aggro, and they had double our land sources, which is kind of funny. I don't know. Like, I guess it happens. I mean, we have quite a bit of lands. You guys can see 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 25. But apparently that's just not enough sometimes. Alright, let's slap in a couple of Deputy Detentions. Let's slap in a couple of Basilica Bell Hunts. And let's keep Lyra, Hostage Taker, all this. Let's take out the Thief of Sanity. That's not something we want in this matchup. Mortify can be useful. What else? Kitesail Freebooter can go down. At least one. This can trade better than Kitesail can. Kitesail is decent. but not what we need the most here. Let's go with this. Can make an argument for Ross's Contempt as well, but I think our 4-mana slot is pretty heavy. Like, we don't necessarily need that. We need earlier plays, and even though Kaito Freebooter is not the best, it does disrupt our opponent's plays, and it does trade with the 1/1s at least, right? So we have decent tools for this. Like, you know, we may have lost game 1, but we're not out of this. If we do things right, we keep the right hand as well. Okay, this one we'll keep because we have 3 lands, so it's hard to believe that we won't be able to curve out here. And we're gonna lead off with the Hallowed Fountain because we do have 1 swamp in the deck, which means nothing, but it just makes sense. So we're going to not take 2 damage. Every ounce counts. Well, that's a problem. That kind of like beats us. On its own, that kind of just beats us. That's really problematic. I mean, I have 4 cast downs and a Mortify, which I desperately need because that Tocatli Honor Guard not only stops our Bugler, but stops our Hostage Taker. And 2 of them, yeah, that's devastating. That's like legit devastating. Do I want to enable the counter spell? I do. I want to enable the counter spell here. Whatever he has to do, like this board state could be much worse. I'd rather counter whatever's coming here. And then I can hope to curve out into at least Lyra. And maybe Lyra can win me this game if my opponent doesn't draw a Conclave Tribunal. Not gonna block. I'm not gonna play Lyra yet. My opponent's not doing anything, so that means he must have something in his hand. With two Tide Takers, we can at least discourage him from attacking him with these. So, like, if he attacks with this, I will trade into it. Believe me, I will do anything to kill her, because this is ruining me. And the fact that he drew 2 copies of it, that is like so punishing, like so punishing. I'm gonna play the Militia Bugler just to have an extra body on the board. Yeah, I take 2 damage, I accelerate, but I also kind of like encourage my opponent to do something about this. I want to get this counter off, quite simply. I should have probably slapped in the absorbs as well, because I'm on the play here. Alright, so I'm going to destroy the Sky Marcher Aspirant. That way we create a bit of a stalemate, and like I said, I want that Conclave Tribunal out of him. I know he has it. I know he's got it. I really want to focus my removal on this, like on these. But at the same time, I can't like let these fuckers live. If he attacks, He knows I have Lookout Dispersal. He's literally playing around Lookout Dispersal. Did I reveal this? Does he know the deck? That's crazy. Do I care about that? No, not really, right? I'll just keep that Mortify there to destroy that enchantment. Alright, so yeah, look at this Dispersal. He's like actually like literally playing around it. Alright, so I'm gonna trade into one of these. I'm actually gonna destroy this because that just disables my entire hand. Man, I really, really wish. I'm concerned about what he made top deck here, but I gotta make this play. I gotta be aggressive. If he plays 4 more, that means he's left with 3 mana, which is just enough to proc that. So that's fine. Okay. I'm gonna cast this and this. I'm gonna try to stabilize here. Okay. Still got the upper hand. I'll gladly trade that. Okay, he wants flyers. He wants to win this game with flyers. We're gonna play the hostage sticker that we revealed to him. We're gonna take that Benelish Marshall again. And now we're gonna attack with these vigilance units. We're gonna start smacking them. I will survive! Good stuff, good stuff. We live it, boys! After 2 Tocatli Honor Guards. Oh, the Bud Police is here! Oh, it's time. Check this shit out. Alright, there we go. Okay. Game 3, boys. Alright, so what are we missing now? I shouldn't be running Absorb now that I'm on the draw. I think Vraska's Contempt is important. Over... goddamn, over like so many things. I think over 2 Chupacabras. I want to have Vraska's Contempt to be able to answer. And I need to preserve the cast downs for Tocatli Honor Guard. Alright, let's go with this. Oh boy. Alright. 20 minutes, Jesus. Like it's mono white aggro. Like who would think the games would drag out this much? Oh god, this hand is kind of slow, isn't it? But then again, I have 3 lands. I'm gonna keep it. Cause it's a playable hand, and I really don't want to mess up my. Okay, let's lead off with you. I really don't want to mulligan into something like way worse, right? Like we drew into a cast down, which is quite key. We don't see a Tocatli Honor Guard, which is nice. We are taking quite a bit of damage. I think Kitesail Free Booty though is good here because he could have a history of Benalia or a Conclave Tribunal, which we will gladly take away. He could just play Elephant here. Alright. We just gotta survive at this point. I'm not gonna block. I'm gonna try to live here, and we're gonna Chupacabra. Effective immediately. And we are going to target this. Also giving us a blocker. And slowing him down in general. Doesn't want to trade that. Beautiful. I think now is when we want to play the Hostage Taker. Take that Tide Taker. Attack him with this. Start damaging him as well. Because we don't intend to use Kitesail Freebooter to trade. And there's the Adento Vanguard. Alright, we stabilize, boys. We stabilize. With the toolbox, we stabilize. We will definitely trade with you. That Chupacabra was a 2-for-1. A beautiful one at that. And I'm gonna take the extra damage. I'm gonna flood the board a little bit. And I'm gonna start attacking him as well. Okay. Nada. Let's pull the trigger. If he wants to attack with his Adento Vanguard, I will gladly trade this Tide Taker into it. Because that will speed up the process. and delay any sort of comeback mechanisms, and now we're good. We good, baby. We overcame the Honor Guard, which is just deadly against us. And at this point, we angry. So we smack him. Rank up. There we go. Nice. That is 24 minutes for one best of 3 series. Goddamn. I mean, that was intense. That was a good one. I think it's a great way to introduce this deck. I will have another video with this deck tomorrow. I'm a huge fan, and I did not showcase off the Militia Bugler, I think, as much in this series because I was facing mono white aggro. But I did showcase off, like, the utility of this deck in general is just tremendous. And it's incredibly fun to play, and the sideboard is also very, very interesting. I'm just a big fan of this list, and it's definitely the one that I'm going to be using to climb through Platinum to Diamond. And I'll continue to test the waters and see if I can improve the sideboard a little bit. Even though I really like it, I think it can be slightly modified. But overall, very, very big fan of this list. I don't know, nice to see a hero-less list. And I think this is just overall superior to the Hero Precinct 1 one. Because it's more flexible and just less, I don't know, it rides less on 1-2 drop, right? I don't know. I feel more comfortable playing this one, personally. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, because reasons. It helps me out, so I would appreciate it. If not, it's okay. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily MTG videos. I fucking love ya, and I'll see you tomorrow with more.